about some college football today with my boy Marcus. No DJ today. So Marcus, let's just get straight into it because you know how time is. If Notre Dame beats Miami, what's the panic mode for you guys?
Uh, as far as well, hate to say it, Notre Dame can survive a loss from Miami, but Miami cannot survive a loss from Notre. Uh, Being in the ACC, they can't afford to lose, marquee matchups, even if it's at the beginning of the season. I think a victory against Notre Dame could carry them into the college football playoffs if they can navigate the season the way they can. So they need to win this game, in my opinion. Is it the end of the world if they lose it? From a structural standpoint, no. But from a in a vacuum college football playoffs type of feel, they need to win this game.
So with all the hype around Carson Beck and how they say he's not as good as he was in the SEC, all that. If CJ Carr comes out and beats Carson Beck, what are you gonna say?
That'd be a more indictment on the Miami defense again than Carson Beck. I mean, is it hype around Carson Beck or is it hate around Carson?
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, the media is going back and forth on him. So
In my opinion, he's been unfairly criticized by them because he left the SEC to go to the ACC, which is their main issue. I think Carson Beck's in for a big season, man. There's no outcome I see where Miami wins this game because of CJ Carr outplays Carson. I just uh, they do have Notre Dame. I'm speaking of does have the best secondary in the nation.
they do. Well,
Carson,
one of the best. Yes, one of the best.
based on last year, but do I expect them to be? Do I expect Carson Beck to light this defense up? I do. Still got to establish our receiver. It's the first game of the season. It's gonna be wonky. I expect Miami to run the ball and force CJ Carr to beat them by throwing the ball down the field. I'm not sure you want to depend on CJ Carr in first game of the season, hostile environment, to go down there and win it.
I think we're gonna see how good this Miami's rush defense is because, like I said, they still got Love in the back, Jeremiah Love in the backfield, and we know he's gonna get his carries.
That's one of the things I was going to highlight with this linebacker core. You got Muhammad Attore, transferred from Rutgers, who missed all last season because of ACL and knee injuries. And you got Wesley Bissain, a guy who's really a 3-year starter at linebacker position for Miami. Those two guys they're comfortable with. But if one of those guys go down, Wesley has been very durable in his career, hasn't had any serious injuries, but Muhammad Torre has had plenty of injury, especially with him being like the thumper on the middle of this defense. If he goes down, there could be a problem with the depth at Miami. They like Jaden Alderman, they like Bonner, they like Chase Smith, they like Kevin Wiley, but do they want those guys in there with Notre Dame for the season? Pretty sure they don't. Not playing big snap.
This is my next question because I know we're talking about LSU next, but if so, Marcus Freeman took Notre Dame to a national championship something Brian Kelly has never done. So does that make Marcus Freeman look better, or does that make Brian Kelly look worse as he's the coach of an LSU team whose hype is so big that he can't get out of the SEC?
That's a complete question. How many years had Marcus Freeman been there?
3, I
He
believe.
he kept both the coordinators.
Because he
That was
wasn't even a
big.
coordinator. He was a pass game coordinator or something. He wasn't even.
But they kept Tommy Reese, and that was a big deal.
Yeah,
So they kept the offense tech. Those players that are really out there making moves right now are recruited by Brian Kelly. Those are technically most of his guys. Notre Dame has always historically had a great offensive line. Nothing changes
Riley
there.
Leonard wasn't his guy though. Marcus Freeman went out and said, "Give me Riley Leonard," and he took him.
And what did Riley Leonard do? Go and draft it. But
Hey, he still went.
but I like Riley Leonard. No, he was big time at Duke for a while too. I know he was solid there too. But I like Marcus Freeman as a coach. I think there is no letdown when Brian Kelly left. In my opinion, if anything, they went up.
They did.
I think
I agree.
Marcus Freeman's a great coach. I mean, you can't get no better than that when you're losing a guy like Brian Kelly to go hire your D coordinator, Marcus Freeman, and boom, you back in it. There's no step back. He knows everybody in the building. He already has a footprint in the recruiting trails everywhere they want to go. He's already entrenched. There's no reset. They're just moving forward. That helped them a lot.
They did. I agree because Marcus Freeman came in, had a game plan, and he took it. And he had a good record his first year. They weren't the best team, but that's his first year as a college coach. You got to get your guys in there. But if you want to look at Brian Kelly's record at LSU his first year, he didn't do so hot. They were the fans were mad. He's been a disappointment these last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, Brian Kelly, man, his seat is hot. His seat is hot. He might be in for some trouble.
And he got his guy at quarterback, Nussmeier. He could have went out and got anybody at the transfer portal. He wanted to keep Nussmeier. Gave him 14. Like, he gave him 18. I'm sorry, gave him number 18. That's Justin Jefferson's number.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a historic number for them. That's putting a lot of pressure on Garrett Nussmeier, a guy who, in my opinion, hasn't shown a clutch gene. I mean, he has that 17-point comeback against South Carolina, an up and down South Carolina team at that. His next best game was probably against Ole Miss, maybe the overtime victory.
I mean, and I created defense more than that.
That was them more the defense than him, but I mean that was probably the best 2 games he could fall back on to say. I mean, he does have what I think could be a great secondary if all things come together. They got a guy, man, DJ Pickett, 6'5", 195
corner. I was about to say that, 6'5", yep.
Number one corner in the nation.
Perkins coming off the edge and playing on the inside.
Mm-hmm. They got AJ Halsey transferred from Houston by way of New Mexico. He's gonna be their Roman safety. He's 6 feet, 215. This guy, all Big 12 last year. He can make a lot of plays when they paying this man close to $3 million to come be their starting safety. They're expecting him to make plays, and I expect him to do so as well. So I think the LSU secondary was really gonna keep them in games. But if you really take a deep dive at their schedule,
it's rough.
It's rough, man, especially the road games.
They're not beating Clemson.
Oh, my God. They got Clemson week 1.
They're not beating is it at Clemson or is it neutral?
I think it's at Clemson. Even if it's a neutral site game, it's not a good look. It's not a good look for them. Then they got week 3, you're at Florida. That's the week before they play Miami. So, they really going to want to win that game because they can't afford to lose both of those games. So, they're going to play tough.
If they don't beat Florida, I think Brian Kelly has to go by at least homecoming.
But what about week 5 against Ole Miss? What they lose that one?
You can't lose to Austin Simmons. I like Austin. Is it Austin Simmons, the quarterback for Ole Miss? Mm-hmm. I like Austin Simmons. I like him a lot, but you can't let this 2-year quarterback beat you, Brian Kelly. That can't happen.
And November 8th, they got Ty Simpson over there at Alabama.
They're not winning that game.
And then they end in the year, November 29th, at Oklahoma against John Mateer. I think they lose all those.
So you got LSU winning all 9 conference games except Clemson?
I got them losing all them games.
I'm talking, you got them beating all those small teams they pay to win, they pay to beat, and that's it?
That's basically it. And a couple home games here and there, but those 5 games we talked about, they losing those. Clemson, Florida, Ole Miss, Alabama, Oklahoma.
If one thing for sure, Alabama's going to be like if Alabama don't win a single game, it's going to be a single game against LSU. That's one game Alabama's not going to lose. They will play their hardest that game. Then lose to Vanderbilt. They got to.
Their only other victory out of them 5 is probably Oklahoma at the end of the year. But by then, I think they probably did a reset, probably coaching change, different quarterback. It depends. If they're out of it, a lot of guys might be sitting out. Nussmeier included if he's focused on the league. So,
do you think that letting Coach Ogo was a mistake?
I think so. I mean, the man had just came off a national championship a couple years prior. Right. What are we doing?
You lose all your guys. So what? Give us some time to put some more guys in.
The next year, that'd have been all right. They had a strong class coming in. He unfairly let go. I cannot deny that letting Coach Orgeron go was a big mistake.
Big mistake. Like, the talent he had, he did what he was expected to do. You don't keep talent like that for a year. Everybody was gone. You come back, you lose. I think you go like 5-6. I think That's pretty good after a
Mhm.
national championship game and everybody leaving, in my opinion,
Everybody.
especially in the SEC.
I mean, everybody left.
Then that's the COVID year.
hmm
So why not give this man extra time? There's COVID. People have COVID. Like,
I mean, in hindsight, I mean, we have hindsight, so we know he has a bad move. But back then, Brian Kelly was the hot name. He was considered the top candidate for everybody. So they jumped the gun on it. But
let me shout
I
out.
still
Let me shout out Les Miles real quick for turning this Kansas program around with Jalen Daniels at quarterback. I just want to say that real quick.
shout
Shout
out,
out to Les Miles.
shout out. Gotta give respect for that. But I think LSU, they got a tough road. Tough road.
It's not good for them this year.
The schedule brutal. I'm talking 7-5, 6.
That's way underachieving for LSU. They expect 9 to 10 wins, but they need to expect the college playoffs if he wants to keep his job.
From a talent standpoint, they have talent.
They do.
The way the schedule is set up is not set up for them to be successful. Coach Brian Kelly's gonna have to coach his, off, keep these guys.
You gotta go out there and play.
They're gonna have to surprise Clemson, show up in the swamp. They got to beat Ole Miss, find a way to stay in with Alabama, and find a way to beat Oklahoma. But I think those are tough games, in my opinion. All those teams are ranked, I think.
I think so.
Maybe Oklahoma's not.
Oklahoma's not ranked, but every other team you said is ranked. I don't think is Florida ranked.
Top 15 team for some reason. So
Jesus. I don't see Florida winning 7 games.
and well, who's more likely to win 7, LSU or Florida?
Florida.
There you go. That'd probably be a 7 victory. Be the one I would favor Florida over LSU because they got the home.
Since we mentioned hot seat coaches, I'm gonna go ahead and say Matt Rule. Your seat is burning fire, my brother, because you're in Nebraska.
Nebraska? You think so?
Dude, his only victory last year that was a decent victory was Colorado after being up 20 but almost giving up the lead because you want to run the ball the whole second half because your quarterback can't throw.
They had a freshman quarterback, and Dylan Raiola can't throw.
Last year he couldn't throw.
I
like Dylan Raiola, but man, Matt Rule, you gotta do better because people in Nebraska they don't have nothing else but college football. You gotta beat Wisconsin. You gotta beat these Big Ten teams. Like, you gotta win some games. You can't go 5-6 or 5-8 at Nebraska. You can't.
Agreed. I think he's gonna get there. I think he's gonna right the ship. I ain't gonna call it a hot seat yet. I don't think I give him enough.
He's been there, what, 2 years?
They was in a bad spot before he got there.
They was in a bad spot for years.
That's what I'm saying. Why rush it now? I think Matt Rule is in that same kind of boat with Mario Cristobal. I mean, they're gonna have plenty of time as long as they improve year after year after year. The seat stays cool to me. So I think Matt Rule's entrenched in Nebraska for the next
I know he has Dylan Raiola's brother coming up too, so that might help him if Raiola goes off to the pros his junior year. But I don't see Matt Rule being there that long.
I hope you're wrong, man.
He
is a programmer.
Hope I am too, because he's a program builder.
Mm-hmm.
But he has to get done. Like, people in Nebraska love football. Commercial break.
Well, I got some time. Gonna jump back on Carson begging noise real quick.
I'm gonna pause the recording. I'm gonna start it back.
Okay.